What's popping, y'all? It's your girl fiance back again with another video. As you can see, we are in the same outfit. Wow. Anyway, so as you can see by the title, today we will be talking about one of our favorite shows, Bridgerton. Season 2. So yes, where do you want to start? This season was wild.
Yeah, it definitely was wild.
Yeah.
I liked it from the start, though, at the beginning.
I want to preface this by saying, I think, now I'm not saying that I don't like the show. Also, another thing, spoiler alert, click off the video if you haven't seen it. And if you only watched like part of the season, or you only watched a couple episodes or something, catch up. Okay, now click off this video if you haven't seen it. Anyways, yes. So I want to say that I feel like, even though I still absolutely love the show, I feel like it lost some of its like purity, if that makes sense, like its charm. Like this season felt a little bit more risque, if that makes sense. But I still liked it because it still kept with some of the, regular themes. Also, this series is based off of books, so I don't necessarily know if it's written like that in the books. If anybody has read the books, please let me know, and let me know if it kept true to the theme or mostly true to the theme, because a lot of times when these things are adapted to film and TV, they take out a lot of things or like rearrange things in the order that they weren't supposed to go. So yeah, let me know if you guys read that. But I don't know, I genuinely did like the characters. I love the interracialness, like, even though that stuff really wasn't around like that or that accepted back then. I liked it. I don't know. What did you think?
I liked that part. The fact that they took time out, it looks like, to incorporate all the cultures. Like, I think those girls were Indian.
Yes, they were Indian.
They were Indian. Actually, they looked Afro-Indian, to be honest. They look.
I don't even know if that's the thing, but that's really what they gave me, like Afro-Indian. Because, like, for me, they still felt black, if that makes sense.
Well, they darker than me.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know if there is a such thing as Afro-Indian, but if it is, like, they felt homey to me, Usually when you see people of, like, Asians or whatever, you think of the more Chinese or Korean or something like that. But when I see, like, Indians and stuff like that, for some reason, I feel like they relate more to me because they're brown, But I really, really did appreciate, like, how they gave it culture without necessarily taking away from the overall aesthetic of the show,
I feel like that too. I feel like they did give everybody like a chance to just to just be who they are. I really did enjoy that. I enjoyed that part.
One thing that I did not enjoy is the fact that, now this is skipping a little bit to the end, but I did not enjoy the fact that they kept that will they, won't they between Kate and Anthony. I don't know, what is it? Anthony, yeah, they always say Anthony though.
Anthony.
Yeah, I don't like that they kept the will they, won't they until basically the last episode. I wanted them to, kind of like the first season. I know everything can't be like the first season, so I'll try not to compare as much, but that's all I have to reference to. But for them, they had a few episodes where, they were deceiving people, and then they were like, oh, I don't want to be with you, but I do want to be with you. And then after that, it was, okay, let's talk about how it is in my marriage and, whatever. But, I mean, I don't know how many more seasons this will have, but apparently the books are going to have a storyline for each sibling. So, I don't know.
That would be dragging a lot. But that's one thing I did not like about this season is that they kind of cut it off and rushed things along. I feel like
towards the end
they cut off the integrity of what Bridgerton was when we saw it from the first season. I feel like things were rushed and dragged at the same time. It's weird.
They focus too much on things that nobody really cared about.
Right. So in that sense, it felt dragged on when you wanted to see exactly, because you couldn't tell exactly what their thoughts were.
Yeah. And you know what I think it is too? So like I said, the books, they say that they're based, like each sibling gets a storyline or whatever. So, you know, Anthony, this was his story. So I'm feeling like maybe they tried to put it in more of like a man's perspective, because men tend not to be as emotional. And also the woman that he was with, Kate, she was not necessarily how a woman would be portrayed back then. She was more headstrong and not so like...
She was kidded. Little kidded.
Kate?
Okay.
Oh, you're talking about Edwina. Edwina was very, very childish. Kidded. But she was still young.
But that was the one throughout most of it.
Yes, I feel like they dragged that. They said in the books that apparently they were courting, but they never got engaged.
I
don't know why they did that. They didn't need to do that.
Thrown off by that
engagement.
When inside of himself, he could clearly tell that he liked Kate a lot.
Yeah.
But then he's like, I really, really want to ask Edwina. And I'm like...
That's why I said I think they try to put it more in the man's perspective, because in that time, for guys like him anyways, who had to take over for the family because his dad passed away, it wasn't necessarily about love. It was more so, I need to continue on this family and make sure everything is in order for the people in the house.
But why choose her anyways? Why come he just didn't choose the one he wanted?
Because I think Kate was too much. She said that she wasn't looking for anybody. She was very much so the Duke in this season, you know what I mean? How he's like, I'm not getting married, I'm not having no kids, you know, whatever. And if that's the case, that's why I said I don't feel like they should have dragged it along that far, because the Duke, you can see his mind changing and like, you know, whatever. But she just, it was too much conflict. I like a little conflict, the will they, won't they, like I said, but I feel like it was too much of that, and it became very, very repetitive. Like, why are y'all even mad now?
It's like he kept throwing himself towards Edwina, but then found himself so many times thrown in alone situations with Kate.
The amount of times they should have had a scandal before the actual scandals, I'm like, y'all doing too much.
Y'all was off in the dark.
I also
the dark walk a lot of times.
Yes, I also did not appreciate how stupid they made Edwina seem. Like, I'm like, girl, she's like, why this blind? She realized it later, but I'm like, it was already there. She was already having those weird feelings, like, what's going on? What are y'all doing? You know? I don't know. Also, another thing that really, really annoyed me is another reference to the books, which I have not read. It's just information that I happened to look up. Apparently, they said you still don't know who Lady Whistledown is in the books. We found out who Lady Whistledown is season 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, not saying that I mind, but the Featheringtons, I absolutely cannot stand that family. Like, I used to feel like there was so much hope because of Penelope. But truthfully,
I gotta throw her to the side too.
I don't. That family is not
just as garbage as her mama and sisters.
Now, they tried to give them like a little bit of a redemption moment when she kicked out their cousin or whoever that was, after he tried to act like he was liking her and all this stuff like that. But it wasn't giving. And she's like, I'm here for my daughters. I'm like, okay, girl, you should have been on that. Like, your husband didn't, whatever he did. Did he kill himself? She didn't find him. I don't know. Her husband, or did he run away? The Featherington's husband.
He got killed. He was murdered.
Was he?
Look,
I didn't care.
He took that from the first one. He took that black dude and then he set it up where he was trying to bet against somebody, and then he basically he set that match up. He set it up where he stole them folks' money.
Yeah, you're right.
And he raked it up, and then they found out, yes, and then they went to his house and killed him.
Yeah, you're right.
He was dead when they got home from that ball.
You're right. Another thing that I didn't like, now obviously this story wasn't about Colin Bridgerton, the one that Penelope was always in love with or whatever, but I feel like They made him seem like a jerk.
No.
Like, when he was like, I never talked to Penelope. I think it was like towards the end.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing. And maybe she was supposed to walk in on that. Because
she was already having a bad night because What's-Her-Face found out who she was.
Right. Well, he don't really like her. He just thinks she's somebody nice that, like, cares about him. He is very much so friend-zoned her. So
Hard.
she's very much so friend-zoned.
Hard.
My thing is, I really hate how they made him go back to Marina when she's clearly married with her child.
Like, why did you approach her?
Why did they
like,
even put her back in there? Like, they put her in, like, as a, like, that was just thrown in somewhere.
Yes. I mean, they could have focused more on, like, the story at hand, because it was about whoever. Like, I feel like if y'all gonna talk about Colin, talk about Colin.
And, she gave him the business, which she should have.
Yeah,
because she married you. Like, dude, you need to move on somewhere.
She didn't love him in the first
that
place.
is already, look, it's over and done with. I'm married. You can talk to my husband when here he is right here. Now you can have your conversation with him. I'm like, as she should, because she was married. Once you get a married woman, that's it. Other dudes is off limits. Yeah. And she had the right idea. Why they make him try to ease and weasel back into her life like that? I just thought that was that was unnecessary. That shouldn't even been in there.
Yeah, I feel like we were saying before, they focused on a lot of unnecessary things. If the story was going to be about Anthony and Kate, then let it have been that, instead of like trying to force them apart for so long. I feel like that was so weird. And then they had all those weird moments. You remember, like, after they had met up, after all the little scandal stuff came out or whatever, and they were all in the room, and she's like, and they like stood up and like were like extra close to each other, like looking, like, nobody would have done that, like looking in each other's eyes all like intently like that while it was a room full of people. I feel like that was so extra. And then even after that, they were still like, not even together after that. I'm like, I feel like y'all was doing too much. I feel like that was a little too much for me. And
everybody turned and looked at them, and then
and we're just they seemed like fine with it too.
She got an epiphany. Was I really this
like nobody in that time frame would have been that fine with them being that close together, knowing their intentions and emotions behind all that? Like, I don't know.
Not at all.
Again, I'm thinking that maybe they tried to put stuff in like a man's perspective, but I also, not saying that Kate is some docile creature and she didn't know what she was doing, but I feel like they kind of like, what's that word where you like, is it like besmirch or something? I don't know. I'm not gonna use that word. They made her a little dirty. You know what I mean? Especially in that time frame, like, women wasn't out here. I'm not saying that they weren't. I don't know how it works.
They made her character more manly. They did. Because they
took away some of her feminine qualities.
Yes, they put her on a horse, and they made her one of the people that was making decisions for the family. And that was really strange, because they came from a line of women that was making. That was another thing. They made this one, actually, like I said, I did like the show. And I know it sounds like we didn't, because there's a lot of things in there that we didn't like.
It's an honest review.
But they made this particular season more of women empowerment.
And I feel like that's weird, because now if you're going to make a time frame or period piece 1800s or whatever, then keep it in charge. Keep it 1800s. And I'm not saying this in my own today's standards of views or whatever. I'm talking about the actual time frame of how it was. And I feel like if you're going to make something, women empowerment, make it more modern. Don't put it back here, because that's not what it was. So not saying, I'm not for, women empowerment or anything like that, but this was the wrong time to use that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, they did play, let's just skip over to something that I did like. The music. They did play.
I love the music.
Rihanna, they played Umbrella.
Did they? Yeah, I think they did. I just love the classical take on all of this modern music. Yes. And maybe, you know what, I should take it like that. Like, you know, they do add some modern elements in there. So maybe she could be a strong, beautiful woman, whatever. But it's hard for me to, like, 100% go there, you know. But I love the music.
There was another song in here. I'm missing it.
I think I knew like more of the songs in the first season than I did this. Like, just, you know, by the tune alone. Some of them I probably do know and I just wasn't really paying attention that much. But I love the music in there. I was thinking about downloading some just because I like the sound of classical music.
Yeah, the instrumentals of it.
It's really good. I really love that.
They did a good job. They've done a really good job playing the music. I really did like that.
Yes.
I agree.
But I just can't get over the Featheringtons. I cannot stand that family. And I feel like that's another part of the story that they focused on too much and really made them seem terrible. They already sucked the first season, but like they really like why are y'all even relevant? And the fact that Penelope ruined Eloise like that, talking about she was spotted alone with the paper boy or whoever he was. And I'm just like, why?
Eloise's story is going to be next, I think.
I think apparently she wasn't even supposed to. So in the books they said that her mom lets her go to all the events, but she wasn't supposed to officially be out until the next season. She's out. She was out this season. So I don't know. But all in all, you know, it's still a really good show. Last season was a 10 for me, but I'm feeling like this one was an 8. It's still really good. And I would still highly recommend it. But, you know, let me know what y'all think in the comments below. And what you would have changed or what you would have, you know, kept the same. Whatever. So, yeah. What are your final thoughts?
I just was putting 7 up because I give it a 7.
Oh, you give it a 7?
Yeah, I did give it a 7.
Okay.
I mean, it was still above average.
Yes.
So
yeah.
I did like it. So, I mean, I've given you a 7. That's what, 70%. That's good still.
Ooh, she said a C. Okay.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Wait.
Maybe that's the wrong way.
That's actually a D+, I think now. That's what they say. A D. Wow. Step your game up, Bridgerton. No, I'm playing. No, it's really good.
Passing grade.
Look, if you need to binge watch something, I'd highly recommend doing it with that show.
Yes, so. I'd still recommend Bridgerton. Yes. I was excited to watch it. I was kind of let down by a few things. But like I said, I still really
They got a chance for redemption. I think it's like 9 books in the series. I hope it don't go on for 9 seasons.
I hope it do.
You do? Okay. In today's look, I'm the type of person, because Netflix is really annoying, I don't want to wait once a year for 9 seasons. I don't want to wait that long. You know what I mean?
I don't want to wait that long.
But and if it's like that, then y'all might as well keep that, because that once a year you get like 8 episodes. I'm not here for none of that. I don't care if they're
I would like it to be right. I would like it to be a little longer, like the first season was. It was, you know.
I want them to produce them faster, and it's not like they can't. Seasons used to be like 20 episodes long on TV, so I mean. And then they would come out like twice. Maybe the work schedule is better or something. Maybe, you know, the people get to go home to their families or something. I don't know. But yes, let me know what you think in the comments below. And let us know what you want us to watch next, because we're always looking for something new. But yes, guys, I will see you on the next one.